Hi guys, this is my video for the pretzel sequence for teaching teachers. Sorry that it took me a little bit. My sickness was floating through the office with all the changing of the weather and I got it. So I just am feeling a little bit better, still a little bit tight, but I figured I'd go ahead and shoot this one for you. As I move through this, I figured I would do just how I would be talking to teachers in front of me. So I might not be looking directly at you, but this is the pretzel sequence for teachers. Alright guys, so we're going to go through the pretzel sequence. This is a powerful stretch for the big floor muscles, which means the front, the sides, and the back of the legs. It gets all into the hip region. It's very challenging for some individuals, so we need to take the time to break it down here and then also for our clients. So to get started, I'm going to give you a list of props that you might need. Your clients, depending on your clientele, whether it be older athletes, sometimes are very tight as well, your desk workers, your very just tight hip people, and it just all walks of life. So make sure that you have this handy just in case. I have two blocks that kind of stack together that I can sit up on if they need that floor elevated, bringing the floor up to get a better load path from their head down through their hips. That way they're not sinking into the lumbar spine and can get a nice effective stretch. Also, I have a yoga strap. You can also use a resistance band, but this one I used because it is handy for me in some of my locations. It has a strap with a loop. So I actually use this loop during the pretzel sequence because typically my clients have better luck with getting that tug on their leg. So let's go ahead and get started here. First of all, whenever you start your clients, some people will be tighter up here in their adductor region, or they might have just tight hips. So they might not be able to bring their feet as close. Also, they might have tender bones and muscles right underneath the balls of their feet or on the sides of their feet. So be cautious of that. Give them a little towel if they need it, because they need to be comfortable in this position. If your body's not comfortable, it will automatically just want to seize up, and that's not going to help your clients or yourself if you're doing it yourself. So bringing those feet together, I'm going to keep mine extended slightly because I have been sick and I'm a little bit tight, so I'm going to respect my body. Take a nice deep breath in and relax. Alright, so I'm going to show you explaining it like I'm teaching teachers, and then I'm going to leave you through a live portion of what I would give to my clients. So let's break it down. We're going to take one leg and sweep it beside you. Now making this Z zigzag is going to really be challenging for some of your folks. So this is where your bolster comes in, where you sit on that bolster with this back hip, or a blanket, a pillow, something like that, whatever they have handy and whatever's most comfortable. Some of them will have to keep their leg up. They won't be able to pull it back. Some, they might get right here and they're going to be good for the rest of the day, but that's okay because we're going to work on their flexibility cell by cell. So respect their wishes and respect their bodies. Take a nice deep breath in. Let your body relax. Now start shifting side to side. You'll have your clients do this just so that your client's hips do not cramp up or tighten up. It also just gives that hip sockets just a chance to repair. I found clients, they like this because their quads and their hips are less likely to cramp up if they deep breathe and do this. Alright, once you're done with that, I personally can walk my knee a little bit back, even tight. So your clients, they might not want to, but make sure that you offer that adjustment. If they feel like they can walk it back, then do so. Then what they're going to start to do is shift that hip forward, and they'll start to feel a stretch. Some people will need to stay right here and offer them that. Say, if you're feeling the stretch already, stay right here and start deep breathing. That's perfectly fine. Also, this is a chance for you to set a tight client up against a wall, placing the wall parallel with their shin. That way they have that resistance of the wall whenever we get into the PNF portion. So shifting the hip forward, grab a hold of your ankle. I like to adjust my knee slightly, shifting that hip even more. Then I wiggle a little bit just so that my muscle is prepared. Inhale, Exhale, take that ankle in. Now, tight, but you'll start to feel that stretch. Now, the clients who have limited mobility, tight hip flexors, tight big four in general, but definitely tight quads, I usually have them grab their strap, inhale, lengthen. That way they can get a nice proud chest and they're not all scrunched up and worried and tight. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, then pull in. That way they have this leverage of a strap. Take a nice deep breath in. Relax. That way they don't cramp up. Now, PNF. So you're going to contract. Press against the strap or your hand, whichever one you have. Press, press, press. With about 30% of your strength, exhale, relax. Shake it out and pull in. And again, 30% of your strength, press against the strap, press. Feel that quad engage. Exhale, relax, release it, shake, pull in. It doesn't take much. You just want that quad to fire. After I do that 3 times, I let them release the strap. Even keep it on because we'll use it later. That's the beauty of that circle. Shoot forward, just rotate. Get this hip to where it's drawing towards the mat. This is a part where somebody else might have to go up on a block. They might have been okay earlier, but typically if they were needing the block earlier, they'll need it here. So shift forward, shoulders are forward, nice and proud chest, toe is flat, turn, pull up, lift up through the spine. This will get into the psoas, those lovely hip flexors. The psoas spreads all the way up from the bottom to the top torso. So you want to make sure that it spreads all the way up. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Now, if they want to take it a step further, tuck those toes under, lift up the knee, arch just a little bit more. They'll really get into it. Place the knee back down, point those toes, inhale, exhale, walk it forward. Now, what I do with my clients, because I have a variety, I tell them that they can go onto their forearms or they can extending out their shoulders, or extending out their hands. But some people, they're right here, and they might not even get here. They might be on a block right here, and that's fine because we're going to work on that flexibility. Now, with my clients, I usually have them walk over to one side, extending out through the opposite arm, stretching through the posterior back, and that way it really pulls into the QLs and lats. You should feel nice, clean, stretched down. Breathing nice and deep. Once they reach the end of the stretch, I have them walk all the way around. Then extend out to the other side, pulling. Again, reaching all the way, relaxing, deep breath through this whole entire process. Then I have them walk forward, and instead of just hanging out, I kind of have them sway. That way they're moving, but they're breathing, relaxing, just for a couple breaths. Because a lot of people, they'll forget to breathe, and you'll see them turning a little bit red, and you'll know what's going on. And slowly press yourself up. Now, taking this leg that's behind, extend it out like a V. So you're pulling nice and tall through the spine. Again, this leg might not come all the way in, that's okay, but we want them nice and tall. Those blocks will prop up somebody if they cannot get their spine nice and tall because you do not want them to concave and press into that lumbar spine. So think nice and tall, proud chest. I left this strap on here because I can loop it underneath the bottom portion of my foot, and I have a nice little tug. So whenever you're doing this, you have that little tug, you have it on their foot, pulling if they want to, but first I have them relax. They have it there if they need, nice and tall, inhale, reach up, look towards the sky, place the forearm on your leg or on the inside, reach tall, exhale over, getting to the side, opposite hip, underneath hamstring. Looking up towards the sky, always remind your clients not to fall forward. We don't want to lose our posture. Nice and proud, lift up. I tell my clients to be able to see the sky. Inhale, exhale over. Now this is where, if they like to, they can grab a hold of that lovely strap, pull, and reach. But this is only if they feel comfortable, because a lot of times they're good right here. Inhale up. Open up nice and tall. Nose dive down. So I want you to dive down towards, reach towards your foot, reach, extend, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach. Now sometimes I don't have them go like this because that just ends up so. I have them reach out, lifting up through the spine. That way we get as tall as possible. Again, those blocks will help with that. But reach, extend out. Reach forward, open up through the chest. Inhale. Exhale, go back into it. One more time. Reach it out. Exhale, relax those fingers, reach. Lifting up tall to the sky, core tight, open up. And now to get into the lovely hamstrings and toes. Typically I do this one standing, but because some of my clients, they have a hard time just getting up tall. But if you have the clientele that can do this safely, this is a wonderful way to get into the hamstrings. So again, grab one of those blocks, place your clients on top. I like to interlace my hands behind my foot. But again, my trusty little loop right here, I can always have my clients get nice and tall first, then extend up. Because they might be kind of lifted up, core tight, lifting tall, but they're not like this because they're not struggling to reach their toes. Up nice and tall, bend. Again, if I'm up here, then that's fine. I pull, bend, pull those toes back, exhale, extend. I'm kind of tight, so I'm not going to extend all the way, but I already feel it through my calves. Pulling those toes back too, pulling into the plantar fascia, but not cranking them back. And exhale in. Nice and tall, release it back out, and slowly come down. So that was kind of me explaining everything to you. But you saw the purpose here. The purpose is to get every single bitty bit of your leg. And it's a beautiful thing whenever you see the clients who come in and consciously and aware of where they are the first time and where they are the last time, as cell by cell they improve their flexibility. We use several different techniques in that one. You saw PNF. You saw short and long lever stretches. You saw some of the reaching over, pulling up and out, just because we wanted to get the full body. Even though we are focusing on that big four, it'll still help the big four to get that movement and that deep breath. Relaxing. So we want to make sure that your clients are breathing, because if they're not, their muscles are going to tighten up and they're going to kind of go into that panic mode where they're protecting themselves. You want them to feel comfortable. Use your blocks, use your straps. All right, so let's go through the other side. This time I'm going to do more of I'm instructing my clients. So sit up nice and tall. Get all my fun stuff over here. All right, inhale. Exhale, go and take that leg back. Now, shifting your hips forward and back will help to prepare your hip socket for the stretch. So try to breathe and relax. You're in this nice little zigzag. If you're not able to get here and you're wondering what I am doing, I'm going to ask you to place one of these blocks underneath your hips, pulling yourself up nice and tall. That way you can get to this position. If not, you don't have to use it, but pull nice and tall, shift. This will just really relax. It'll prevent some cramps. It'll let that hip kind of prepare for the stretch. That way it's not just thrown into something. Once you're comfortable, shift this hip forward a little bit. You might start to feel a stretch right here. If you need to stay right here, that's perfectly fine. I just want you to feel that quad stretch, nice and lengthened, tall through the spine. If you would like, you can pull back your leg slightly and you'll start to feel that stretch even more. Or you can leave it forward, it's up to you. So shifting that leg forward, grab a hold of your ankle with your hand. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to bring your ankle towards your hips. Now, if you cannot do that and grabbing your ankle is not an option, hook this strap around that ankle just like we did earlier, and we'll take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, pull. Once you get here, make sure that that hip shifted forward. Release that ankle slightly. Flexing through the foot, pretend like you're putting the toe into the mat. Pressing against your hand, you'll feel your quad contract with about 30% of your strength press. Exhale, relax. Shake out that leg. Release that tension and slowly bring it in even more. You'll start to notice the flexibility increase as we do this. So let's do it twice more. Press against the hands. 1, 2, 3. Relax. Shake it out. Bring it. One more time. Again, only feel that quad engage. You should feel it. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, relax. Exhale. Good job. Nice deep breath. Slowly and carefully let that foot come down. Nice and flat. Shift your hips forward. Again, underneath your hip with this block will help you get that shift if you need it. Inhale. Lengthen, press up tall through the spine, filling the psoas. Hip flexors, all that lovely attachment, quads being pulled nice and tall. If you would like, let's take it a step further. Tuck your toes under, lift up your knee, arch to the upper back, look towards the sky with your eyes. Inhale. Just relaxing into it, let that knee down. Uncurl your toes. This is the portion where we'll roll forward. We'll walk ourselves forward onto our forearms. If you're comfortable here, take a nice deep breath in. And then start extending one arm and then the other, inching your way down. If you are not and you want to stay right here, that's perfectly great. You should be feeling this in your glutes, into your hip of the leg that's underneath you. So take a nice deep breath. Relax. And then let's start walking around. Let's move. So walk over to one side, extending out through the opposite arm, pull, reach, relax, breathe. Slowly walking around. I want you to find that end of your stretch whenever you're reaching towards me. Reach, relax, and then once you find that end of your stretch, come slowly back. Coming back to center. Whether you're on forearms or arms, just start rocking side to side. Breathing nice and deep. Get that movement, relax into it. Not very fast, just getting a little bit of movement, relax. And slowly roll up, pressing yourself up. Now taking this back leg, I want you to bring it around to where you're like a V, sitting nice and tall. The blocks, place it underneath your tailbone if you need to be lifted up from the floor to get a nice clean load path. What I mean by that is a nice tall spine to where you're not sinking or rounding through the lower back, upper back. So you want to be nice and tall. Inhale. Relax, exhale. Again, strap can still be on that foot. Placing the forearm on the leg or under beside. Use that to open up through the chest, reach up nice and tall. Inhale, exhale over. Open up through that top shoulder. No caving in, so make sure that you can see the ceiling here. I really want you to lift up and then over, lengthening out through the ribs, extending. You should feel that stretch in the ribs. Breathe into that space right here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, take this hand towards the toes. Reach over the toes. Inhale. Now again, make sure that your chest is nice and tall. Back is flat. Reach forward towards me. You can flex your foot. Reach. Reach your arm towards me. Open up through the chest. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, reach. Once you hit that end, again, open. So you want to find that end of the stretch. You'll feel this in your hamstrings. You'll feel this through your back. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Open up. Exhale, press, reach, relax, lengthen, reach. Lift the palm towards the sky. Open chest, penny open the chest. Exhale out. Take this leg in front. Again, your strap is always an option because it's usually right already there if you have it. Make sure that you're on your block if you need to. Inhale. Exhale, core tight, spine straight, proud chest, lift up through the leg. Try not to sink and round. Open up, get nice and tall. Your leg does not have to be straight here. I just want you to feel a little bit of a stretch, no pain, in your hamstring, the back side of your leg. Now, bend your knee, bring your knee into your chest. Some people, they like to cradle it, otherwise just do this or have it free. Flex those toes, pull those toes back. Point against your strap or your hand, then flex. Lengthen, straighten through the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Again, straighten nice and tall. Find the end of that stretch. And exhale, release out. So that right there is some of the ways that I would teach my clients the basic pretzel stretch. There are things, or the basic pretzel sequence. There are things that you can mess with around there, like as far as switching out how you stretch your hamstrings, how you stretch your quads. Quad's pretty basic. It's going to be always there with the pretzel sequence. But you can play around with how you do it, the tone that you set, the relaxation, things of that nature. Whenever I teach this, I always want to think of the purpose. It all comes back to the purpose. Why do we use the techniques that we do? Why are we achieving the objectives that we're trying to achieve? We're trying to get the big four. We're trying to rebalance that hip socket. Always keeping in mind that your clients need to be relaxed. They need to be comfortable in order for them to achieve this sequence. Because if they're not comfortable, again, their muscles will not want to release and get into that stretch. So make sure that they feel comfortable, and make sure that you visit with your clients if you can afterwards to see what they thought. Make sure that they are comfortable for the next time that they come into this sequence. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And that is a basic overview of what I would tell teachers. I would probably include also making sure that they understand where we are using the PNF and lever stretches. It's whenever we are bending the leg and targeting the quads and straightening it back out, also lifting up the knee whenever we're getting to the psoas and that nice, almost long lever stretch into the hip. But also the PNF that we use to contract, relax, release. But that's the sequence, so I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll chat soon, and it should be to you in the next couple days. So have a great day.